Hey, this is Five of Clubs, and welcome to the finale episode of our one-deck dungeon playthrough on Simpleton Solos, a series in which a Simpleton plays one of his favorite board games. In the previous episode, we charged our way aggressively through the second floor of the dungeon. The son of the beetle attempted to avenge his fallen father, and the wraith from floor 1 caught back up to us in floor 2, but we dealt with them both, bravely and boldly of course. Sure, we took a small pummeling overall, but our passive heal between dungeon floors, plus our healing potion, helped us return from a battered state to a lightly bruised one. Emboldened and enraged, our warrior is ready to press on into the final dungeon floor, before the showdown with the dragon begins. Will the dice deities permit our progress? Let's find out together, shall we? Alrighty, and welcome back to One Deck Dungeon. We are in the third floor of the dungeon, so let's move our marker down here. Now, just like with floor 2, how we had to start accommodating these floor 2 impositions, we now have to accommodate these floor 3 impositions known as dragon skin. I guess maybe magically he's imposing some sort of armor upon them. Not really sure. But in any case, this is one of the worst parts of it. It is a shield box. It is in yellow, thankfully, but a shield box to the value of 10. That's before we do any other boxes that will be on our challenges for the floor. And that's on top of course, our 3 and our 5 here, and our 6 and 2, respectively. Okay, but we do have 5 yellow dice to work with. We do have our 2 skills down here. We have 3 magenta. Well, I guess in this mod, for whatever reason, I guess these little symbols here are not quite the same color as the agility symbols, and neither are the swords for that matter. But I think actually the base box in the physical format is sort of similar in that regard, where the dice aren't exactly the right color, but close enough that you know what's going on. We have 2 heroic feat dice to work with, and let us go ahead and drink our potion to get rid of 1 and 2 and 3 of those wounds. Alright, so we are heading in with 1 wound. Let us see what the third floor of the dungeon has in store for us. Now, we do need to spend 5 time, because the Hall of Statues will confound us once more. And then we need to spend 2 time to put out the 4 dungeon floors. But actually, upon watching my last video, I noticed that I forgot to spend 2 time at the start of that floor, so I'm going to spend 2 additional time during this floor to help make up for that. Excellent. Or should I say, magnificent. Yeah, there's a new one for you. Okay, so we now have 4 doors here. Let us spend 2 more time. 1 and 2. And I'm feeling okay about this one.
Remind yourself that overconfidence is a slow and insidious killer.
What do we have here? We have glooping ooze. Oh boy, our slime there. Indeed, and they have a split skill. Spend 1 time for each 1 that we roll. Let us hope we do not roll any 1s. Do we think with our dice pool here as it is, we have enough to deal with this 10 here, the 2 and the 3 and the magic and all the other boxes? I think we'll be pretty close at least. I'll tell you what, let's borrow 1 die from our heroic feat just to see if we can try and secure that. Oh, look at all of those 1s. Oh my. Well, the good news is we are able to do some things with 1s. If I were to pay this dice down here, I could get a 6, so I'm actually just going to change that right to a 6. Then I could discard 1 of these 1s to increase the values of 4 dice by 1 apiece. And I think I will do that. Let's see. I think maybe we'll start here, make that a 6 because we're going to need it here. Then let's go maybe 4. So the 6 and 4 can get right here for that 10. Then I think we need to make this one into... Actually, I think we're okay on those ones. The magic. I suppose actually let's do 5. Let's do 3. Yes. Okay. All right. Now, given that we have updated our dice here, this 6 and 4 we'll have to put right there on the lock. Oh, but before I do too many things, I guess actually I should count 1, 2, 3, 4. I believe I said 5 1s. That means we're gonna have to spend 5 time here. My goodness, because of all of those pesky 1s. Oh, and I'm not sure that I counted this one either. Let's go ahead and spend an extra time just in case. Okay, well, yikes, that is no fun. But It is the way of things sometimes in this game. It could jump out at you. Where in times when you're not really expecting the game to be doing a whole lot. Sometimes it'll surprise you like that. Okay. Anyway, back to what we were doing. Let's assign this 6 right there. This 1 is not going to help us a whole lot. The 6 here is not going to help us a whole lot. And really, if I start trading dice, I suppose the most I can really do is get a 2 here. Yeah. Well, that's unfortunate. So most of the dice rolls we've experienced up to this point have been rather generous, but this is one where I would say that we kind of flubbed the result here. So we're going to be leaving a lot of boxes open, which is highly unpleasant. Oh, you know what we could do? Here, I have a better idea. I actually meant to do this in the first place. We'll put that 2 right there. We'll put this 5 over here so that we aren't taking at least those 2 hearts. So now, what do we have left? We have 1, 2, 3 hearts there, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4 time. And I don't think I could do a darn thing about the rest of this. I suppose there's one thing I could do. Let's trade those out for 2. Here we go. 2, 3, 4. Using those 4, I will unlock the 4 from here. Bring it over here. There we go. Okay. There. That was a more efficient use of our resources there. Alright, so now let's recalculate. Looks like we have 2 damage coming our way and 3 time loss. Certainly not as bad as what we were looking at originally. But not great. Definitely not great. Okay, let's regain our dice here. Make sure we get all the ones that belong to us. There we go. We're going to be getting some heroic dice on our skill. Because we are taking 2 damage. So let's do 1 and 2. Now, I'm not sure how the ruling works on this, so the wording here on our heroic feat says, roll any of all your dice here, of course, and then it says, store a wild die here for each damage you take. You may store up to 2 dice at a time. I'm not sure if that means, like, up to 2 dice per, like, encounter damage, or per instance of damage, or if that means that only 2 dice max can be stored here. I am assuming it means that only 2 dice max can be stored there. Otherwise, you could build up quite an arsenal of dice there. So I'm going to be operating off of the supposition that you're not allowed to have more than 2 dice on that space. If I'm wrong, I suppose that's unfortunate, but I think that we can make do with playing on expert mode if that's the case. Okay, so we have a few choices here. That magic die. This game really wants us to have some magic. We have 3 XP, and we have Armor Crush, which is yet another skill that is used by exchanging one of our attack dice. Gain a wild 6, but you can only use it to cover a box with armor. Now, we do have plenty of boxes of armor that we can cover, so I think I might actually just take it for that. Oh, here we go, breaking the mod. Oh, and now it put that under there. Oh, no. Oh, my. Oh, boy. And somehow we made it happen. I mean, we did, unfortunately, sneak a Phoenix's Den in there as well. But we'll just have to know that that's not one of the skills. Okay. Perfect. All right, let us spend 2 more time, and then let us flip door number 2. We have a locked door. We're pretty good at dealing with locked doors, that's for sure. Let us get our attack dice and 2 of our heroic dice, and roll. Roll, roll, roll. Let's see some good numbers on here. Okay, those are pretty good numbers. So we have a 5 and a 6 for the 11. Oh, excuse me. There we go. A 6. So that's the 11 we need there, but technically we need to fill those first. Thankfully, we have plenty to do that with. So we'll hit the 6 there, the 5 here, the 3 there, and with that, we will call this door Splintered Wood. Okay. Now, as for our rewards here, we have potential for 2 XP, we have magic dice, of course, and then we have trade 3 agility dice to gain a wild 6 during a trap or combat encounter. I think I'm going to take it for the XP. We may recall that we have 5 XP already, so this is 7. We need 3 more, and then we are at the coveted level 4. Okay, 2 more two more time going that way. Let's go here. We have a rune puzzle. Rune puzzles, like all puzzles, they require brains and thinking, and our warrior is actually more keenly suited to destroying it with her fists. So let us indulge her violence in that regard. I'm actually going to hang on to the heroic die there, because we kind of rocked that last one, which had the same sort of requirement. So let's go ahead and see what happens when we do it this way.
Ha ha, you fool! You fell victim to one of the classic blunders.
Oh, of course. Of course. Indeed. Now, unfortunately, all of my skills here are combat encounter related skills, which means they do not apply to a trap. Unfortunately, we have 2 boxes that we have to fill there, first and foremost. One of which is a shield box of 5. We rolled everything under 5s. So unfortunately, that means we are going to be taking 1, 2, 3, and 4. 4 damages. Yikes. And there is not a darn skill or thing I could do about it. Alright, such is the way. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Ouch, 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 and ouch. Okay. Yikes. Let's go ahead and add one of those dice to our heroic feat. Now, we do have 6, 7, 8, 9 health, so we have 7 damage out of the 9 health. When we level up, we will get one of those potions, though, which will take 3 damage off of there. But surely we'll have more to heal, or we'll at least try our best to heal a little bit more prior to the showdown with the dragon. Okay, so we have completed this challenge. This would give us 2 XP, leaving us 1 shy of leveling up. It would potentially give us, if we use the item, another one of those agility dice. Not horrible. Or this persistence skill, which is combat and trap encounters. You trade 2 yellows to roll a yellow die and a wild die. That's certainly tempting. But I think maybe... that skill is super good. Now, I know, of course, that by trying to put that skill down there, I may be hurting myself in doing so. Actually, you know what? Now I'm looking up here. I think I have a skill limit of 4 until such a time as I level up. So I'd have to give up one of these in exchange for that. Now, let's go ahead and actually keep it for this pink die. Here we go. 1 more dice that against tests where I don't need agility, I at least will be able to theoretically convert those to something I do want or need. Alright, 2 times spent. We are going to find another locked door. Now, shall we tempt fate and do as we did before? I don't believe so. Let us be safe. We don't have the health here to spare, so let's go ahead and roll those dice. Okay, we have a 6 right there. We have a 5 here. We have a 3 here. And surely among the rest of this, yeah, 6 and 5 right there alone is 11. Okay, so thankfully back to locking doors. We were not thwarted in our pursuit of progress. I guess, what should I have expected? We basically took a sword to a magical artifact without a care in the world. We should have probably expected some backlash in retrospect. Okay, we have 2 XP. We could get yet another sword, which could trigger more of our... when I say sword, of course, I mean attack dice. Which would trigger our attack dice skills. Or we have a magic ability where when you roll or trade a 3 of magic, you get to roll a wild die in combat encounters. That is fascinating. But unfortunately, again, we are not at high enough level to meet that yet. I would almost like to get that extra attack die just because of the fact we have so many attack skills. But I'm going to go ahead and put it here because I know we are running out of time for this floor and we do need that potion. We certainly do. Okay, I'll set that there and I'll set this there. We'll have to spend 2 time. We could put out 4 doors. I don't believe you can choose not to fill all the 4 dungeon slots, even though for time I may have wanted to only find 2. I think you have to find all 4. To be honest, I haven't run into a situation in the game where I've had a reason not to find all 4 doors, but in this case, it actually might have been interesting if I were given that freedom. So we're spending 2 time there, and we have to... I suppose we actually don't have... okay. We don't technically have to discover one of these and go into the risk of an encounter, but we want that potion. So let us do so. What do we have? An ice elemental. Oh no. And oh no, because we will be getting at least 1 point of damage because of the fact that we have to spend 3 time before the encounter begins. And in spending 3 time, that will give us 1 more damage, bringing us to 8 damage out of 9, leaving us at 1 HP for that dragon boss. My goodness. So we have a choice to make. We can go and fight this guy, who would give us potentially 4 XP to level up, which would give us our potion, or an extra health, and one of those agility dice. But that means we're going to have to cover everything in order not to die, which is going to require 4 magic dice, as you could see. And it looks like we have 2 and then only 1 wild. I mean, we are going to be rolling our agility dice, so it's possible. But in order to actually trade them up for things that we need, look at this. We're going to have to get 4s, 5s, and 6s in order to exchange for those numbered dice. Oh my goodness. This floor has not gone well for us. I am hesitant to push our luck in that regard. We might just be better off taking our 2 HP down into the encounter with the dragon. Or spending more time looking at another door.
And in studying, you must have learned that man is mortal, so you would have put the poison as far from yourself as possible, so I can clearly not choose the wine in front of me.
Oh, boy. I think we're going to step away from this ice elemental, that's for sure. Now, do we want to descend? When you descend, heal 2 damage. So we will heal 2, which would give us 5 health to work with out of 9. I say we spend 2 time, which would add a 3rd, which would clear it out, then add 1 here. So this is going to come down as a wound, which is going to grant us 1 heroic feat die. And let us look here. Goblin with a swarm ability. X equals 4, which includes, or 4 per open door, including this one. So this isn't a shield box of 8. That's a shield box of 10. Then we have 3, 5, 3, 2 4s. But we could apply this because we can't even take that. We can't even use that against the boss anyway. Surely with this entire pool of dice, we can get this guy, because those magic ones basically we can use for a trade. And of course, we must remember we have our armor crush ability, crushing blow, and cleave. It would just give us the last 2 XP we need to get that potion. So let's go ahead and do it. Okay, no 1s this time. Very good. Always happy not to see 1s. I could put a 6 and a 2 right in that box here. And I could do 5 and 4. Let's trade that 4. Actually, I have an idea. So we're going to, this 2 right here that I'm not too thrilled about, we're going to use it on our armor crush ability, which would give us a 6 that we can only use toward a shield. Let's put that right up there. Okay, let's put this 4 right there. Then we'll put this 5 here. We'll put this 4 there. We'll put this 3 up there. Okay, we're working. We're working. The problem is I really need something right there, don't I? This is a shield only box though, so I'm going to have to leave that the way it is. What if it's the wrong color? Well, so yeah, that that wild is shield only, so I can't mess with that. 5. It's a 5 in blue, no less. That's tough. I don't think I can make a 5 in blue happen with what I have here. No. No. Maybe. Yikes. I really don't want to do it there, though, would I? I would have to do it here and here. And I would need another die to, like this. I would need another die to use cleave to set those both to 5 so that I could trade it to 5. So if I did this right there, I could put both of those to 5. Whoops. 5 and 5, which I could then trade for a black 5, which I can slot right there. Okay, and then there's a 3 spot. There's 2 3 spots that both deal 1 damage. Okay, wait a minute. I might... Oh, I can... Oh, that's right. I can increase 2 more dice. I sure can. I'm going to do this one like that. And then this one I'll make to a 4. No. I need 2 3s, don't I? Yes, I do. Actually, no. You know, I will keep that one a 4. Because I'm going to put that right here. Because this one costs a time and a heart. And we really don't have a lot of time to spare. And then these 2 I will trade for a black 3. Here we are. We could put that... Really, it doesn't matter which box we put it in because both of them are going to net us 1 wound. And trading these sorts of items... It's not going to help us. So, unfortunately, if I traded any of that, I would only net me a 2, which these require a 3 and a 4. So, that's unfortunate. Oh, but you know what I just noticed? Apparently, I'm a moron. Because I forgot to replace the 4 that's here. Surely did. Now there's an idea. Alright, so we do have something to do with these last 2. I will trade these last 2 to get a black 2. Now I know that in itself is not enough to do much of anything. However, I can activate this ability with that die to gain a yellow 6. So we'll get that 6. Here it is. We'll slot it right there. There we go, which meets the shield box. Whew. Wow, that was a complicated turn, and that is sometimes how this game can go. You really have to push yourself to fill these things by activating your skills and abilities, so those are very important. We are going to receive 1 heart of damage and 1 loss of time. Thankfully, the time is not going to lead us to any wounds. This wound, however, is going to hit us.
Wait a minute!
And unfortunately, that is going to kill our warrior. Hoo boy! Well, that was... Well, the less said about it, the better. As you saw, things in the game can spiral out of control pretty quickly. That gooping ooze and the rune puzzle gave us quite a whooping. I guess I got carried away after my successes of beating back those logs and busting down doors. Though in retrospect, I should have known better than to apply brute force to a magic artifact.
What are we waiting for?
We didn't even have a chance to see the dragon this time around. What a pity. Oh well, I guess we'll just have to swing back around for another go of it another time. I have some final thoughts about the game and plan to compile them in a separate video, but as for now, thanks for joining us on this episode of Simpleton Solos. On the next playthrough, we'll take to the stars and try our hand at commanding our own starship in Deep Space D6. Until then, happy gaming, everyone.